Your second album comes around, My Own.
Yeah.
Now, this is through Priority, but No Limit wasn't involved at all in this project, right?
Not at all. Not at all. Shouts out to Happy Perez again. He did the majority. No, maybe like four beats on that. Then Steve Belo will come into play. I don't know if Time produced nothing on that album. Steve Belo and my partner Los. I did like 12 songs. So right quick, another 12 songs. I signed a 7-album deal with Priority. So I'm prepping for the rest of my life. And then it all fall apart after that first record. So now I'm out here. I got to keep up with my quota. I just kept the ball going. But yeah, that's when we all kind of separated, right? Right into the evolution and all the balls in my word. Yeah.
Okay, because you had a lot of success on that first project with Master P being involved. I mean, He's on multiple songs. There's a bunch of other No Limit artists that are involved in it. And honestly, you guys sound good together.
Absolutely. No doubt. No doubt.
So why make the decision to say, okay, I'm going to, basically toss this winning formula and do it differently this time?
Well, the thing is, I didn't toss it at all. You see what I'm saying? I kept doing, I had like a 10-album template. If I ever got a deal, I'm going to start Balls of My Word being number 1, next chapter, My Own, third chapter, Vintage. I continued doing everything that I set to do. But the affiliation and the vibe and everybody just went their separate ways, and it's a million stories where that's concerned. So, not thinking for nobody, not being so hands-on and being a No Limit artist like that. I just saw P and them sometimes, tour time, shows, record. We never really hung out, you know what I mean, that type of thing. So I'm back to Baton Rouge with my essence. Then me and Loc was Ice Cube, Eazy-E, you know what I mean? In that sense, we, totally separated. And that kind of about diversion between the clique and everything just was different at that time. And keeping in mind, I tried to put out an album every year and realized that in a time pattern, to do it comfortably and almost comfortably, I drop an album every 2 years because now I'm on tour for the first album. I'm not just at home in the studio and just dropping records every day. So it's getting off the road, getting back into your mind, and all that. My career had took off. So I just kept up with my career. I'm directly dealing with Priority record, and I got to turn in the record. So yeah, I always been the type of guy open to anybody that was open to work with me. And from there, yeah, they kind of went their different ways, and I went mine, you know what I mean? So that type of thing.
I mean, from your point of view, like I mentioned, you and Master P had a lot of success together in that first project. And you and C-Loc had a lot of success together in that same project.
Yes.
Why, once again, separate from someone you had the most success you ever had up to this point?
And trying to be discreet with you. You'd have been in New Orleans. Baton Rouge is one of the same. They call us the country boys and they the city slickers. So them fashions normally on a bad day don't get along. You understand? So I'm trying to avoid those type of confrontations. Now big money is on the table and it's really at a cutthroat level with all of us. You see what I'm saying at that time? And, from there, just to avoid it all, it was nothing, it don't fit, you can't force it. So that was that type of thing. I heard an interview with Master P saying this one time, and they asked, I don't know if that was an interview with you or somebody I was watching, was asking why him and Baby didn't do the same thing, being from the same New Orleans. And he described, or Baby described, one of them, that, okay, me and P is cool, but the guys that I roll with don't roll with P guys. You see what I'm saying? I remember being at Priority at the time when they were finna sign Cash Money after No Limit. And that didn't take place because Brian Turner, whoever didn't understand, wasn't coming to New Orleans and understood what our demographics was down there. So when they get past maturity and money and respect, and it's back to a street hood and a street level. So man to man, I just felt like I did the right thing I did for myself and my family as a man, still being open to everybody. But, I don't chase no chickens, man. I don't say it like that. Yeah, that kind of thing. Yeah.
Well, that second album, wasn't Pimp C, didn't he offer to produce that whole album?
Yes, sir, man, and I regret that to this. I do and I don't. I'm pleased with how My Own turned out. But if I'd have knew some of the stuff I knew now, and just going at that pace, Vlad, and being that young, those guys had already been in the game, UGK, Master P and them. So once I start to grow into those type of affiliations, I'm catching up with the big brothers. You see what I'm saying? So by the time I got Pimp, I'm at the end of, and we have been talking for years, I'm at the end of finishing this record, these 12 songs. I just want to do this, turn it into priority, get to the next. And I was actually on my way out here to Atlanta to record with Too Short. And Too Short got on that record for me. We talked about it, and he was like, yeah, that's who you put on it, put Pimp on it. Then whatever was going on with Pimp, me and Travel at the time, we could never just get together and make that happen. But when I, mentioned that to him, he said, Bleed, I'll do your whole album for you for $10,000 or so. So when I look at with the budget and different things now, I probably would have scrapped everything. But Happy was affiliated, still family, I'm trying to keep the unity, that type of thing. So I didn't want to scrap the whole project and start over and having a date that I had to turn it in. So that never took place. But Pimp C produced Bring the Noise on Balls in My Word. Not directly for me. We talked about this before his passing, but he was happy I ended up with that record. I think it was initially for a Mystical or 504 Boy record, and when I wrapped up those 3 songs that last night, that's one of the joints I picked that P allowed me to have, on his strength, but that's the only production you'll have with me and Pimp C in life.
Yeah, I got to hang out with Pimp C one time, maybe a couple weeks before he passed, and he was just a star, man. That's the only way I can describe it.
Yeah, in a sense, we had started calling Pimp like the Southern Tupac, man. More laid back in the pimpish way, but that kind of star persona. When he showed up, it was phenomenal. And me and Pimp had this conversation before he passed. We got the Pimpilation and different things now, but he never did a solo record, separate from Bond. But it's kind of like Ron and D. You might know Ron before you know D. The same kind of thing with Pimp and Bond, you know what I mean? And no lackadaisy, lack of respect when I say that. And then everything that came with Pimp, it was like Tupac going to jail. So when he came home with that same type of celebration into his past, yeah.